Welcome to Forgotten Video Store, the podcast where we go to the rental store of the same name in North Hollywood and pick out one of their unique movies that you can't find anywhere else on the planet. I'm your host, David Murto, aka Daddy Big Cup. And my guest this time is the post-production supervisor behind a bunch of big movies like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, the remake, not the old one. Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, I saw that. The Empty Man, that was a cool movie. And No One Will Save You, I like that one a lot. Lily Gwyer-Miller is here. Lily, thank you so much for going to the video store with me.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Fine.
All right. Lily, what's the most serious crime you've ever committed?
Oh my God. I think that I've forgotten to scan some LaCroix at Target.
So you shoplifted, but unintentional?
Yes.
I've done that so many times. Like left it on the bottom part of the cart and then you forget to take it out.
Yes.
Probably most beverages that have ever been in my home were not paid for.
It's terrible.
Speaking of segues, you were nice enough to come to the video store and you picked out a tape of something called SEL Tenåringer, which is Norwegian, maybe, for Navy SEALs teens. And the lead performers are of the 90s pop group AQUA. Lily, why'd you pick out this movie?
I am a big fan of 90s action movies.
Yeah.
Right? Like I love Armageddon and
Sure.
Deep Impact and The Rock and all of those,
Speed.
right? Speed.
Face Off?
Yes, all of those. As well, I'm a big fan of 90s Nordic pop.
Sure.
And so I always have my feelers out for those things. And never in a million years did I think that I would find a crossover. Because that is rare.
Yes.
Correct? I mean, are there any other instances?
Of 90s Nordic pop group action movies?
Yes.
Not that I can think of.
I mean, maybe like in the soundtrack, but...
Sure, yeah, but they did not collaborate on the soundtrack. They only acted. Well, we were learning a little bit about their trajectory, their careers.
Yes.
They felt they weren't being taken seriously.
So they came into existence with their multi-billion-dollar hit Barbie Girl.
Right.
But they felt a little bit typecast. I don't know if that was the right word. And so they were ready to explore other avenues.
And what do musicians often do? Like David Bowie or Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Or Justin Timberlake. They dip their toe in acting.
Exactly. So at the same time, the Danish government started a Navy SEALs branch.
Yeah, kind of copied off of the U.S.
Exactly.
But that's all right.
Exactly. It was hard for them to enlist people into the Navy SEALs because it was so specialized. And there's not a lot of deep sea divers in Denmark.
There's not a lot of anyone. It's a very sparsely populated country.
Yes.
I think there's like 6 million people. There's way more people in LA County than there are in Denmark.
So they were having a hard time finding, young people that could handle like those specialized skills that Navy SEALs have.
Denmark has plenty of artists, but what they wanted young people to want to get into being Navy SEAls.
Hardcore military skills, sharpshooting, and hand-to-hand combat, and explosives, and deep sea diving. I don't know why the deep sea diving was so important.
Well, their country's mostly surrounded by water, isn't it? So I think that's
exactly. That's why they needed that.
So in the movie, it starts and we meet the teens, and the actors are a little beyond their teens, but they're playing teens like they're high school students.
Yeah.
They're at the high school swim and dive meet. You get to see not all four, 3 of the 4 of the members of AQUA. I'm talking Renee Diff, who's the guy with the deep voice.
The deep voice guy, he's in it.
Then there's Leen Nystrom, who's, the lady.
The lady, she's in it. She's, as you would suspect, she's the star of the show.
Right.
But what's funny is the deep voice guy, he just plays like the janitor at the school.
Yeah.
He just has like a very small part. He's not in the whole movie.
Really disappointing for me because he's one of the big, like when you put on an AQUA track, you want to hear that guy's voice.
Exactly. So you just get a couple lines from him. He was just not a very good actor.
Yeah.
One note. He's very one.
Quite literally.
Yes.
And then there's, of course, Søren Rosted, who's, the real good-looking guy. He plays, like, keyboards and guitars and stuff.
And he's great. He's surprisingly good.
Yeah, and they were going to have Klaus Noreen, who's the fourth member of the group, but we learned from the IMDb trivia that in this, actually the first scene in the movie, the diving scene, he dove and he belly flopped so hard that he ruptured his small intestine. He had to pull out in the movie, and he was replaced by one of the Skarsgårds.
So
Gustav Skarsgård. So yeah, you get to see some guys in like the cool like navy suits, and they're like, we're here for the big meet, and the janitor's there, and it's Søren, and he's like, you're gonna wanna come this way, like that, and he shows them in, and then you see from the high dive, a beautiful woman does a quadruple backflip, perfect dive into the water, and then out of the water pops Leen Nystrom. And it's a classic, like, cowboy swap, right? She didn't do that dive. She was hiding in the water until the dive went. But it looks cool as hell.
It looks cool.
And so she does a dive, and Søren's there, and he's selling concessions. But the way he's doing it is, like, there's, like, hot dogs on the roller, and he just, like, hits the roller with the spatula, and all the hot dogs fly up, and he, like, catches, like, 4 hot dogs with the buns real quick. And so, like, you see the Navy guys, and they're watching him, and they're like, look at that. And then the last guy's Gustav Skarsgård.
So he was the youngest. And so he just happens to be, like, he has, like, a little toy boat that he's, like, piloting. I don't know. What do you call that? Remoting?
Like a remote control boat. And, like, he's at the swim meet, he's a menace, right?
He's a menace.
The coaches are like, hey, you can't be doing that. Get out of here. But the Navy guys are looking, and they're like, oh, he can do donuts. He can do a figure eight. He can do all sorts of things with that little boat.
Yeah.
So,
and I will say this movie is not very well written.
Strong disagree, but okay.
I mean, they're just throwing shit out there to get it out. But it's fine. It works.
Yeah.
It works. We're moving on.
So these Navy guys, they take Renee and Leen and Gustav, and they say, we got just the program for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of SEL Tenåringer? They're like, no. And they're like, it's an all-new program for the best and brightest. And this is sort of the propaganda section of the movie. That, like, the best teens in all of Denmark are going to be part of this program.
Yeah.
And then you're into kind of the training sequence. And there's, like, one other kid who's, like, training to be a Navy SEAL, and he's kind of a bully, and, like, they have to earn his respect.
Surprisingly, the montage does not have any AQUA in it.
Yeah, it was disappointing.
They really wanted to separate themselves from their past, and it was in the contract that no AQUA songs could be used in the movie.
Sure.
Sadly for AQUA fans like myself.
I guess, like, when you go see a Justin Timberlake movie, they don't have his songs playing. Like,
I've heard that.
Or like a Frank Sinatra, it's not like in Manchurian Candidate, he like sings a song partway through.
Yes.
But it's a little different because it's like the whole group's here. You know, it's not like one actor. It's like there's a bunch of these people in the movie.
The montage was actually to what is their name? Ace of Base.
Oh,
all of the music was actually done by Ace of Base.
Is Ace of Base? I saw the sign.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I liked them.
Ace of Base did the soundtrack. They couldn't clear Barbie Girl.
That would have been a good addition.
Because Mattel wouldn't endorse any military usage of
Is that true?
Barbie.
Has there never been like a
There's never
Marine
been like a
sharpshooter Barbie?
No.
Oh.
No.
I didn't know that.
But Ace of Base was fine with it. And so then, like, we get our first terrorist threat.
It was at one of those Danish cookie factories, right? Where they put them in the little tin.
The Royal Dance tins.
Yeah. So I was into this because I was like, ooh, I like those. And then you can keep the tin, right? And you can store stuff in it.
Yes.
Like, this is awesome.
We see all of the tins getting manufactured. And the cookies getting stacked up inside. And some of them are frosted. Some of them are sugared. Like with that little...
The big granules of sugar. Those are real satisfying.
Yes. What we find out is that they're made with cyanide in this.
That's the last thing you want in a cookie.
And there's a tour of children.
And then there's the shot, like, they're all, like, opening their mouths. The workers are coming to put the cookies in there.
And they eat the cyanide royal dance cookies.
Yeah, you thought, like, someone's going to stop them.
You think that someone's going to stop them. You think that... And the Navy SEALs teens are, like, right next door...
Right.
Doing karaoke. And then they show the kids eating the cyanide royal dance cookies in all graphic detail. You see all these kids vomiting.
Right. I like it when the one kid's, the blood is coming out of their eyes.
That was
awful. Freaky. Yeah.
And then they start throwing up like their intestines.
Yeah.
And their like vocal cords like start like disintegrating as they're it's awful.
Yeah, I didn't like that part.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen. I almost returned the movie to the video store.
Mm-hmm. But then basically like they hear all the screaming over there where they're doing the karaoke. They hear all the screaming and they're like, "We gotta investigate." And
they run over and they see it and they are devastated because they just went to school with these kids a few years ago.
What they do is they take a tin of the cookies back to the lab.
Yes.
And then they meet a real dork with big old glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I can analyze this."
Yes.
And he does. And he's like, basically traces it to one man. He's like a mad Danish scientist.
Yes.
And they're like, "We're going to go visit him, find out if he's behind this."
Yes.
They go to his lair.
Yes.
And what it is he's there with a bullet hole right between his eyes.
Yep.
And you're like, "Oh shit, something just went down." He says, "Wait," because he's got some life left in him.
Yes.
And he said, and I was like, "Oh, I thought for sure that guy's dead, right?" But no, he can talk a little bit, and he's like, "I did the worst thing you can do." And they're like, "What?" "Yeah, you killed a bunch of kids." He's like, "No, worse." And they're like, "What's worse than poisoning all those kids?" He says, "I made the ultimate hairspray." And they're like, what? That sounds good, because these are kids, they need hairspray or whatever, like we mentioned.
Yeah.
But he's like, "No, the chlorofluorocarbons in hairspray are what's causing the hole in the ozone layer."
Oh my God.
And if anyone now, like, this problem has since been solved, but at the time we were very worried about the hole in the ozone layer was expanding because of the use of chlorofluorocarbons in hairspray.
Yes.
So what this mad scientist did was he made such a concentrated dose of the chlorofluorocarbons that if anyone activates this hairspray, then the hole in the ozone layer is going to rip apart.
Yeah.
And then all the ice caps are going to melt.
They're going to melt.
And if we know anything about ice caps, is that there's one of them right up there by Greenland.
Yes. And we know who owns Greenland.
Yeah, because it's been in the news lately. Yeah, it's Denmark, home of AQUA.
Yes. And it all comes together.
Yeah, we were starting to see the pattern. And so the guy's like, and they're like, "What did you do with it? What did you do with the hairspray?" And he says, "I sold it."
And then he dies.
Yeah.
It took him a long time to succumb from his head wound.
Yeah, he did get a lot of exposition out, but he did finally die.
And so they rush to Greenland.
Which, according to the map, is a very large country. But when you learn about like the way that it's distorted and everything, it's not as big.
It's very small. It's like the size of Orange County.
Right, yeah.
Tiny. With their newly acquired Navy SEALs skills, they dive into the water and they swim really fast.
That part's cool. I think they maybe sped up the footage to make it look like they were swimming faster than they really are.
They had like these cool like fins that they wear.
Yeah, and it was like part of their diving outfit.
Yes.
So when they activate, it goes whoosh, and like the fins like pop out.
Yeah.
It's real awesome.
Yeah, and they've learned how to like hold their breath for a long time, like hours. I mean, the propaganda was really working on me because I was like, I want to be a Navy SEAL now.
You know who has the record for holding their breath the longest?
Who?
Kate Winslet.
What? Oh, from Avatar.
Right. And it's like, I don't even remember her in that movie. I guess she was playing one of the creatures. You can't even tell it's her. Why'd she bother holding her breath?
Wow.
It was cool.
That's
Great. Good for her, though. But anyway,
Okay.
While
so,
all this is happening, you
yes.
occasionally get references to the Nordic Friendship Alliance Day.
Yes.
It's like, oh, don't forget Nordic Friendship Alliance Day is
yes.
coming up, and it's going to be in
Yes.
Copenhagen.
Yes.
And there's going to be this big celebration
Yes.
with all the royals and all the heads of state
Yes.
of all the Nordic countries
Of
are
all
going to
the
be
Nordic-
there.
yep,
And
this
you're
is
like,
right.
oh, that's just a nice bit of info.
Yep.
Probably not going to play
Yeah.
into the story or anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, the teens swim all the way to Greenland.
All the way there.
And
Yeah.
at this point, I'm thinking, why, like, Greenland is in danger, but the villain wouldn't actually need to activate the chlorofluorocarbons from Greenland. He could just do it anywhere.
He could do it anywhere.
But that's not what the stories does with
No,
it.
I feel like
That's maybe a little bit of a plot convenience.
it's yes. We don't need to overthink the plot of this movie, right? I don't know. I feel like it's confusing.
But they've swam or swum?
They
They've swum.
they s- they s-
Swam?
Swam?
It might be swam to Greenland.
Yes.
And I've explained it's much smaller than it appears on the map. So they're basically
Yes.
like walking around and
Yes.
there's not a lot of people
Yes.
there. That they're talking among themselves like, how would we be able to find a person who would buy that kind of hairspray?
Yeah.
And who do they notice but a man with his hair sprayed so it sticks a foot and a
Yeah.
half above his head.
Yeah.
It looks awesome, but he really stands out.
Yeah.
And so they start following this guy through like the marketplace,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's people like selling fruit. There's people selling fish.
Yeah.
Other clothing, blankets and stuff.
Yep.
And he's like ducking in between all the carts. And they're trying to track him. They go down the line. It's like on the radios, they're like, this is Soren. I saw him buy the apple cart, but I think I lost him. This is Gustav. I lost him too. Lean, did you see him? And like she's about to click on her radio when whoosh, the
Yeah.
hairspray guy like grabs her by the mouth and like pulls her
Yeah.
away. So the other two are like, Lean, do you copy? Do you copy?
I know. Obviously, like we know it's that guy who like kidnapped her because we've like seen him with the tall hair.
But he's like kind of a twisted freak, right?
Yes.
And so he's got her in his lair. He's like real into hair stuff. So he's got like a hairdressing kit, right? With like the shears and stuff. And he like holds the shears and he's like, you're gonna dance for me, you pretty Danish teen. I think she's Norwegian. She's the Norwegian one, but
She's
he
Norwegian.
calls her
Oh,
Danish
that's right.
anyway.
She's-
But
yes.
he's like, you're gonna dance for me, you pretty Danish teen. And so she does. She starts dancing, and it's really, I mean, she's great. So it's that part of the movie's awesome, but you do like feel conflicted because you're like, I don't like seeing it in this.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to see her dance, but not like this. you know?
Yes.
And basically they cut back to Gustav and Soren, and they're like asking all the humble Greenlanders, like,
Yeah.
do you know this guy with like the really tall hair? And Greenlandish people are very humble. And they don't do outlandish things like half foot
so
and a half tall hair.
they all know where this guy is, and they point him to like the house that he's moved into, which is weird because he's like built this whole like villain lair.
Yeah.
Somehow like very quickly, it's like this whole like it's this fancy architectural home. It's like, how did he?
It looks great.
like, I know. It's
But
very,
like this is a Swedish person who they don't make you think he's like spent a lot of time in Greenland. He just came to activate the hairspray
yeah,
thing,
exactly.
but he built
So
this lair.
I know. So how does he have this whole place?
It's not just an architectural marvel, it's kind of a technological marvel because
Yes.
like Gustav and Soren, they have like the rappelling hooks or whatever, and they
Yes.
whoosh, and they go
Yes,
up.
of course.
But then like there's cameras, and the cameras go
Yep.
whoosh, and they lock onto them, and
Yeah.
out of the top of the camera, whoosh, it's like a sentry gun, right? And it goes.
Yeah.
And this part's cool because the bullets are flying at them, and they have to like run while they're rappelling along the side of the walls, like sideways. It's real awesome.
But anyhow, so they like go in and get her, the villain guy. Yeah.
He's got the
They're like-
hairspray, right?
Yeah,
he's
he's
like,
got it.
you know what this is, don't you? And
Yeah.
they're like, yeah. And we know you killed the scientist who made it
Yeah.
by shooting him in the head. It was that guy from earlier
Yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I had to I had to kill him so you would never learn our scheme.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you fucked up big time because he didn't die right away, and he explained it all to us. And he's like, well, there's no way you can stop me now. Once I press the little thing on the top of the hairspray.
The can of hairspray.
Uh-huh.
It's just... Like, at this point in the movie, I'm like, really? You're trying to get me to believe that it's a can of hairspray?
Well, that's a message for all of us when we use hairspray, is we're damaging the environment.
I guess that was a very serious concern in the 90s, but I just thought it was a little cheesy.
He goes, bye-bye, Greenland. Hello, blue ocean. And, like, that's his one-liner or whatever. And he's, like, going to press down on the aerosol that's going to destroy the ozone layer. So I'm like, this guy's finger is on the hairspray thing.
Yes.
There's no way they're going to stop him, basically.
Somehow they did it, but they didn't really explain how they did it. Because all of a sudden, his finger was on the hairspray, and then immediately they cut to Soren kicking it, like high kicking it, like across the room.
Yeah, that was cool.
And it was done.
The guy with the hair all tall and everything, they had him like tied up.
He was like, fine, kill me, but I'm going to tell you.
You fucked up, basically.
Yeah, and you're in the wrong place.
He's like, the whole Greenland sinking was just icing on the cake. The real attack is in Copenhagen. They're like, Copenhagen?
Yeah.
Why? In Denmark? And he's like, yeah, you idiots. Did you forget that today's the Nordic Friendship Alliance Day? And he flips on the TV and you see like all the Scandinavian kings and queens and prime ministers and stuff arriving in Copenhagen. And you're like, oh, this whole thing was a distraction to get the most talented teens away from Copenhagen where they could have saved it. And they're like, and he's like, you'll never get to Copenhagen in time.
No, and then they light him on fire with the hairspray. And
that part was cool.
Yeah, and another like really violent, horrific scene, which was weird to see him like melt.
Right. I don't know how they did this because it had to have been a model of a person, but he was still like laughing and writhing around like as his skin is coming up.
It was weird.
It was cool. It was like an Indiana Jones death kind of.
Did we ever figure out why though? I can't remember why he was trying to get revenge on Denmark.
Well, this guy wasn't even the main villain.
Oh.
He was one of his goons.
Oh, he was just a goon.
But the guy he's working for is working for like a Swedish insurgency that is all about Scandinavian supremacy, right? So it's like they think Sweden, Finland, Norway, like that's the good stuff. And Denmark's just this other weird one down here. And that's why they're trying to defeat Denmark by sinking Greenland and ruining their Nordic Friendship Day.
It seems like they were just jealous.
It could be like they could be a jealousy situation.
I think that's what was going on. But anyhow, to be honest, I just started getting distracted and I started scrolling TikTok by the end of this movie. I'm sorry. But I really liked the first half a lot. I was really into the montages.
Yeah, the montages were good. The Ace of Base.
And I loved the Ace of Base soundtrack.
We love Ace of Base.
And then I started to trail off a little bit. The end really sucked me back in.
So they basically have like 45 minutes to get back to Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Or before like there's going to be a bomb that goes off. The
friendship thing, yeah.
But right outside this guy's lair is the Concorde, the jet, and it's got the big Swedish flag on the side. And it's like, Gustav, do you know how to fly this thing?
Yeah.
And he's like, how different can it be from driving a boat? And so they just pop in there and they take off. And that's like the fastest plane ever, right? Yeah. You ever see the Concorde? I saw it in an air show once.
I feel like I have.
Why don't they drive that thing around anymore?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen the Blue Angels. What do they fly?
Those are like fighter jets, but those are cool and they fly so close to each other.
What's a Concorde?
A Concorde was like a passenger jet, but like the fastest ever or whatever. And it's real weird looking with the nose that like goes down.
Oh, shit. They land the Concorde right in the middle of it.
Right in the middle of this giant Nordic Friendship Alliance Day celebration.
Yes.
Which must have had everyone in all of the Nordic countries were there because it was like a huge block party.
Yeah.
They had breakdancing, clowns.
Yeah.
They had a potato sack race.
They had, yes.
Lars von Trier was there.
Lars von Trier.
But the biggest event was the kings of Finland, Sweden, and Norway
Yep.
are gonna teach the king of Denmark like the special handshake.
Special handshake.
So he's they're like officially welcoming Denmark.
Yep.
And that's happening in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? And so you see the plane coming down. Lean and Soren and Gustav get off the plane and they're like, that's when the bomb is gonna blow.
Bomb.
Is right at the second where they teach him the handshake.
Yeah.
To like ruin Denmark.
Yep.
So they start looking around. It's like, where could the bomb be? Where could it be? Where could it be? And they see like the statue of Hans Christian Andersen, the Danish hero, right?
Yeah.
Who wrote Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. Yeah.
So they go up and they like lift up his pants. Right, and that's where the bomb is.
Yeah.
And it's like counting down.
Yeah.
And they've got like less than a minute basically. It's like tick,
They do.
tick, tick. And there's 3 wires exposed. There's like red, blue, and white. They're like, clip the wire, which one? He like holds his breath. It's Soren, he's up there because he's like the weapons expert or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, closes his eyes, holds his breath, clips it, and he's like, did it work? And then the bomb starts clicking like twice as fast, and they're like, clip the other one, other one. And so, basically it stops.
It stops.
A little anticlimactic.
Yeah, it was a little anticlimactic. The kings shake their hands, and everybody continues. And Lars von Trier.
He's making a movie about it, maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is this the end of the movie? But they didn't catch the bad guy yet. They foil his plot.
They get back on the plane. Because they were going to take the Concorde, like, they were just going to take it back to their Navy SEALs headquarters. They're like, why are there so many Billy bookcases in here?
Right. A fine bookcase. I've got a few at my house.
Yeah.
But it is weird that there's so many
It is
in
weird.
There.
Then they're like, it smells like meatballs in here.
Right. Where would a bunch of Swedish terrorists hide out?
Yeah, and then Lena looks over and she sees one of those shiny blue bags. She's like, fuck, we know where to find this guy.
In fact, Sweden has outposts all over the world in IKEAs.
Yes. And so they get on the Concorde.
They got back and they flew it, and it was like a short flight, but they fly right and they land on top of
the nearest
IKEA.
They're like, we've got to get to him fast. They tried, but they couldn't because they got lost.
Yeah, there's so much shit in that store.
Yeah.
But this part was cool. It was almost like a video game-esque where it's like they start at the top of the IKEA and have to make their way through all the different showrooms.
Yes.
And
it's a cool action sequence, and they're like
tipping over all the
like
couches. Yeah, it's cool as hell. And like all the Swedish goons are there, and they're like shooting, and the Swedish goons are like, God damn it, why does IKEA make all their furniture bulletproof?
Yeah,
because they're just hide behind the couch and they can't.
Good, thankfully for them. I mean, it saved their asses. It's like that movie, The Raid. Only it's in IKEA. Okay,
and
fine.
I like it when Lena like grabs that guy's head and twists it all the way around so his like head is facing backwards. That was cool.
So they finally make it to like the ball pit where the kids play. And underneath underneath there is like a trap door. And that he's hiding in there.
Yeah, and it's the villain, and it's like, I thought you'd never find me. And you're like, what? It's
holy shit.
It's Renee Diff, the deep voice guy from AQUA, who was playing the janitor from the beginning of the movie.
And he's the janitor at the IKEA.
But he's also he's a terrorist janitor. Yeah.
He's a disgruntled
And he is
terrorist.
Danish, but he's playing a Swedish person.
Is he?
Yeah. But Gustav is Swedish, but he was playing Danish.
It was
in the movie.
weird.
But like all those people are always, Stellan Skarsgård was just, he's Swedish, but he was just in that movie where he's Norwegian.
Yeah.
It's a little
messy. I mean, they're all part of the
Nordic Friendship Alliance.
Nordic Friendship Alliance. Yeah. Exactly.
They can all play each other's nationalities. But they do find him, and he's like, let's go party. And then he like knocks their guns away, and so they have to like fight hand to hand, and it's real awesome. And he's like trying to fight all 3 of them at once, and like he pops Gustav like a heel right to the forehead, and he gets knocked out. And soon enough, Soren falls into like a fiery pit or something.
Like they all use their strengths to battle him in the IKEA.
But it's Lean who finally gets the best of him.
She does.
And she's like, why did you do it? Why did you try to destroy Denmark like this?
He's like, I watched you high dive all of those years, and I was just so jealous because I have been afraid of heights all of these years.
And he's like showing some real emotion. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe there's a good side to him.
Yeah.
And maybe they can find some common ground. But that's when he like almost like a snake like whoosh, goes up to grab her neck, and she pops him right in the face, and he falls over backwards into the meat grinder that makes all the meatballs. And then you see like and then it's like just his head at the top. And then you see at the end where all the meatballs are popping out. And then you see the next day, and it's Lean and it's Soren and Gustav are in the IKEA again, and they're like eating meatballs, and
they're
like
laughing and having a good old time.
And they're like, can you believe some of the stuff we got up to?
It was an oddly cathartic ending. I was pretty pleased. I had a good time.
Yeah, I did too. Thanks for finding this movie. Yeah. I'm going to listen to some AQUA.
I know.
This weekend.
It was great. It was great. Thank you for inviting me to the video store.
Yeah, love checking it out. All right, to end the show, I like to do something that's called plugs and shout outs. So anything you want to promote, any projects you're working on, or anything like that, or anything for the shout outs, anything you want to like celebrate, shine a light on. For example, for me, I'd like to shout out bathing beverages. You ever do this? Like drinking something while you bathe? Like for a shower, like morning showers. This morning I brought a coffee in with me to the shower, and I was drinking coffee in the shower. For evenings, I like to drink a beer in the shower. And anytime I have a bath, glass of wine. So bathing beverages.
I like that.
Well, do you have any movies coming out soon?
I do. I've been working on Stop That Train, which is coming out in May.
What's Stop That Train?
Stop That Train. The log line is 2 stewardesses must save the day when a catastrophic storm threatens to derail a high-speed train.
Nice.
It's from World of Wonder, the production company that brings you RuPaul's Drag Race.
Awesome.
It's fantastic. Everyone is going to love it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll check that out.
And that's it. So this has been really fun. I had a great time watching this movie.
Yeah, thanks so much, Lily.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Forgotten Video Store. Tell all the film fanatics and movie dorks in your life about this podcast, and don't forget to follow this show, because next week I've got an episode with a lovely Welsh comedian discussing a movie about the English upper crust in the 1930s and the sick games they played when no one else was around. Forgotten Video Store is a slop-free zone. We never use any AI for any part of the production of this podcast, not even the hastily photoshopped episode art. More than Brady Corbet can say. The music in this episode is Funky Energy Loop by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Okay, bye!